It's time for Portland Wrestling 2000s. Now, here he is, your number one host, Frank Culbertson.
Hey, wrestling fans, thanks for joining me here again on Portland Wrestling in the 2000s. Tonight, two great matches for you as we go to Cartel version number 2. Tonight, you're going to see JD Bishop of the Cartel, that's right, Big Ugly, take on Dante and Bonzai Bruce. And then it's Skag Rollins taking on Vinnie Massaro, Pacific Northwest champion. Bonzai Bruce would go on to become WWE referee Ryan Tran. So as always, we like to get right to the action, so let's hear from the combatants first.
Portland Wrestling fans, I'm Derek from the Buckhead Show at Z100, here with the SPW champion, Bonzai Bruce. Now, you didn't win the last match. Dante won it, but the title was stripped from him because he wasn't medically cleared. So tonight, it's a three-way dance. You, Dante, and Big Ugly.
Who are you talking to? Me?
I'm talking to you, Bruce.
Am I here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Dante didn't kill me like he said he was, huh? Still alive, well, and kicking. Dante, so you won the match at Kaiser. Whoop-de-doo. But you know what? There was actually one thing that the board of directors told me about, and that was you weren't medically cleared. Somehow you got a concussion before the match. So you know what? This baby comes right back around my waist. Bonzai Bruce, still SPW champion.
Well, it's not just Bruce in that match. It's also Big Ugly from the Cartel. You, Dante, Bonzai Bruce for that SPW championship.
Well, let me see. I'm pretty familiar with that title. It's a belt I've held several occasions, and I've lost, and it has been a little bit of controversy. I've wrestled Dante, and I've beat Dante up. Every time I've wrestled Bruce, I've kicked the hell out of him, and he's been in the hospital so many times, they want to send him back to Japan. But all I can say about this three-way dance is this. I'm used to doing tag team stuff with my partner here, Vinnie Massaro. And normally we like to beat up Team Hell, we like to do barbed wire and all that, but tonight I'm going to make the exception. Tonight you're going to see something that you don't expect from Big Ugly. I may do some 450s. I may do a couple frog splashes. Not the hell with it, I'll just chop them and form the hell out of them. But anyways, tonight, Derek, I think we're going to see a new SPW heavyweight champion, and then hopefully one day I'll get my shot here at Portland, Oregon for the heavyweight title. What do you think about that, buddy?
Good luck in that match, Ugly.
Don't get in the way of the moneymaker.
All right, well, right after this word from the sponsors, we'll go to that match. It's a three-way dance for the SPW title. Big Ugly, Bonzai Bruce, and Dante.
This next match is a triple threat match for the SPW Championship. Introducing first at 170 pounds from the AOD, Dante. To his opponent at 250 pounds from Sacramento, California, Big Ugly. The current SPW champion at 180 pounds from Nagasaki, Japan, Bonzai Bruce.
Fans, we are back for our main event of the evening. It is for the SPW Championship. It is a three-way dance with Bonzai Bruce, the champion, walking to the ring, as you can see. Big Ugly JD Bishop already in the ring, and Dante coming out to thunderous applause by the fans. I am joined by a man who knows championship, a man who knows all three of these individuals. Bubba Blanchard from Memphis, great to have you here tonight.
Thanks a lot, Frank. It's a pleasure to be out here, and it's a pleasure to sit here and watch some great Portland wrestling. These three athletes right here, I'll put them up against any other athlete anywhere in America or the world, for that matter.
Well, in the last 2 weeks, we have seen tremendous wrestling action, whether it was the tag team matchup with Caden Matthews and Hans Mueller last week against Aaron Idle and Scotty Mack, or great wrestling action that you and old school Oliver John demonstrated for all the fans here at Cleveland National Guard Armory. Although you came out on the short end of that, that was one tremendous matchup, Bubba.
Thank you very much, Frank. I appreciate those compliments right there. Anytime you get in a ring with a man like Oliver John, you know it's going to be a great fight. That's a great athlete, and it's a pleasure that he is here in Portland Wrestling.
Well, as we've talked about all kinds of athletes coming to Portland Wrestling, we've just seen big man action with Sideshow and Exile, and now we see Bonzai Bruce from Nagasaki, Japan. He's really a talented athlete.
I'll tell you what, Frank, all three of these guys in the ring right now, they are three three of the most talented athletes I've ever seen. And that's the Big Ugly right there trying to kip up. He might be a little too large for that. But I tell you what, these three individuals right here, you're going to see offensive moves that you've never seen anyplace else. And if you have seen them anyplace else, I'll guarantee you they've never been better.
Well, referee for this matchup, Mark Watson, you can see right now all three men just chopping away. Bonzai Bruce.
Listen to that sickening sound of flesh being torn off, Frank. Listen to it.
Dante, I don't think I've ever seen Dante without a full wrestling outfit on. Look at the tattoo that he has. Looks like he got that down at Captain Jack's. Great play, great sponsor here on Portland Wrestling. Dante now with the tilt-a-whirl leg scissors takeover on Big Ugly.
That's a great move right there, Frank. And you know he got that at Captain Jack's. And speaking of a tattoo, Ugly just got tattooed.
This is going to be a terrific matchup. The fans buzzing with anticipation. Big Ugly rolled into the corner, and now Dante hard charging in goes. Big Ugly flips him up and over. Dante, a great counter move.
Oh,
that move was
listen to those chops, Frank. My goodness. He's tearing the flesh off. Oh, beautiful move by Bonzai. Double drop kick to those two studs.
Springboarding off the second rope to get more leverage. You've been in the ring with each of these individuals in California a number of times. They are all brutal in their own manner.
I'll tell you what, Frank, it doesn't get any more brutal than these three athletes right here. If you want to know, whoa, look at that move right there. A leg sweep into a face buster. You want to know you've been in a fight? You get in the ring with one of these three individuals right here. You know you've been in a fight.
Absolutely.
Mike Tyson won't fight any one of these three. He's scared, he's ducking them.
Fans, Dante now stalking almost Bonzai Bruce. These two in the ladder match with your brother Jeremy at Kaiser Stadium. Dante came out on top, but as we know, he did suffer a concussion mysteriously beforehand. Medical personnel looked at him, would not give him clearance. He begged, he pleaded to get in the ring, but he slept for a number of hours. He was throwing up in the back. This was a serious medical condition that he was suffering.
Extremely serious medical condition. You ask any one of those other chump athletes out there, they get a concussion in that sport football or that sport basketball, they're out 2-3 weeks. Well, it's professional wrestling. You get a little head injury like a concussion, you're not out 2-3 weeks. You get back in that ring and you fight like a real man. He came out there and quite frankly beat my favorite wrestler in professional wrestling today, Jeremy Blanchard, and he got lucky by doing it because he knocked him out of the ring on a cheat shot, quite frankly.
Speaking of Jeremy Blanchard, you and your brother get a #1 contenders matchup against Team Hell in 3 weeks. The Grappler secured that match next week. You, of course, signed the contract right away, being the fighters that you guys are, backing down from no one. That'll be a great matchup. The winner getting a tag team shot against Aaron Idle and Scotty Mack.
Aaron Idle and Scotty Mack, I can't wait to get my grubby little paws on those two little pups. But I'll tell you this right now, Frank, when you put Jeremy Blanchard, the greatest wrestler alive today, in there with a bruiser like Bubba Blanchard, I'll tell you what's going to happen. Everyone's going to fall on the wayside.
Absolutely, and now falling to the wayside is Bonzai Bruce, as he just took a beautiful bulldog-type maneuver on the ground from Dante. Big Ugly with a decided size advantage, but the quickness has to go to Dante and Bonzai.
Look at that clothesline. He just took his head off. He might have to go to the dentist after this.
Bonzai Bruce following up with a drop kick to the midsection of Dante. Looks like Big Ugly might be busted open. He keeps checking himself. Now there's a snap there by Bonzai Bruce. Now he sets him up off the rope, drives a forearm, extra power, extra force.
You come off that rope with that speed, Frank, and then you take a human being's forearm and shove it in another man's face. I'll tell you what, those little punks sitting at ringside, they don't know what that's all about.
Absolutely not. Fans, this matchup being brought to you by great Portland sponsor, Jer Bears Adjustable Beds. If you need a mattress, oh my goodness, you need a power bed.
He's going to need something from Jer Bears right there. Oh my goodness. Going to have to go to a doctor after that one too. He might have a concussion.
Hanging on the ropes was Bonzai Bruce, following up with Dante, taking advantage of the big move by Big Ugly. There it is, on two. Oh, Dante just powers on. Now he goes for the pin. That's the beauty of a three-way match.
Did you hear that? It's like Indiana Jones cracking his whip. It's a human being's flesh. That's what you're hearing. You're not hearing any rawhide or anything. You're hearing a human being's flesh be ripped off the bone.
You look at the back of Dante. It is beat red from all the blows that they've been taking. Now, Big Ugly going for the great move. You can see he's stepping right on it. Now he rolls him over. He's got him in a sort of a bow and arrow submission move. Not pulling back. What's Dante doing?
No. Oh my goodness. The double stomp to the gut. Good God almighty, he might be dead. Oh my!
Unbelievable. Bonzai Bruce not moving. Big Ugly had him in what could have been a submission move. Big Ugly now going for the pin. 1, 2.
I think he would have tapped on that, Frank. And then you got this sick, sadistic individual in Dante. He comes off and does a double stomp to the gut. Bonzai might be going home in a body bag.
Fans, we need to take a quick timeout. We'll keep the cameras rolling. We'll be back after this word from our sponsors.
Don't go anywhere.
Fans, we are back. Dante now in control of Big Ugly, but Bonzai Bruce barely moving. You can see just barely coming to from that stomp from the top rope by Dante. Unbelievable move. And now Dante takes Big Ugly down. Whoa. He followed through with the clothesline, actually held on, drives Big Ugly down with extra power.
Absolutely. Drove him down with a big slam, but that's the Big Ugly right there. You never, oh, look at this.
This is a submission move. He's got him hooked in there good. Dante right near the rope, but there is Bonzai.
That's like a
Bruce
modified Texas Clover Reed right there. What a lot of people don't know, because Ugly's done such a great job of building his reputation as a badass everywhere. He is one of the greatest submission wrestlers alive today.
We have a lot of them coming here in Portland Wrestling. We know Oliver John comes in with a tremendous reputation in jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. And anybody who steps in the ring, as you know, has got their work cut out for them.
I know it firsthand, Frank. Anyone who steps in the ring with that man, they better bring their A game. And we better watch ourselves down here, because I don't know what's about to happen.
Oh, my goodness. Bonzai Bruce, he's flipping off the top rope. Oh, he
good
catches
God Almighty, did
down.
you see that?
Springboard.
He just took out two studs from Portland Wrestling. This ain't one of those chump federations where other people wrestle. This is Portland Wrestling. When you walk back in that locker room, there's nothing but studs, nothing but great athletes.
Absolutely, only the best here on Portland Wrestling. Dante looks holding his ankle severely. I'm not sure if it's snapped or not. He hit awful strange coming off of that mat. Now Big Ugly trying to come to. Bonzai Bruce over here laughing for that move, what he's done. But Dante looks to be in serious, serious pain.
Can you imagine how tough Bonzai Bruce is, Frank? Can you imagine the toughness in that guy? Could you imagine getting a double stomp to your gut while Ugly was stretching you from here to Sunday?
And now, oh
my
Bob.
goodness, did you hear that?
Big.
That forearm to the side of the face might have knocked his jaw out of line.
That's the action you get each and every week here on Portland Wrestling. Brought to you by Z100, by Comcast and Sunbelt Rentals. Great sponsors bringing you all this action. Portland Wrestling, wrestling the way it should be. The underhook, he's got him up, bridging him over the back. This can be a submission. It's an airplane type.
Oh my! Oh, good grief, are you kidding me? Did you see that, Frank? He just planted his face.
Now Dante with the back
oh
the
my
back
goodness! Did you see that?
He can't control
that's what I'm talking about. The Big Ugly J.D. Bishop. You get him a German, you see that neck? That's because he doesn't have one. He pops up and knocks Dante from here to next week. And then an Itsuguri from Bonzai.
Hit him right on the back of the head. Beautiful move by Bonzai Bruce. Dante down, Big Ugly down. And now what is Bonzai Bruce going? What move can he pull out now? He's climbing the top rope. He's got him up. Moves off. Big Ugly able to move.
That's a Big Ugly. That's a dangerous thing about all three of these athletes, Frank. You never know where they're coming from. You never know where it's coming from. They just sneak up on you and hit you with one big move after another.
Dante up. He's going for the oh my goodness.
Are you kidding me?
That was not the 450. That
Human
was a
bodies are flying around.
That was
There's carnage all over the place.
Now,
this is great wrestling action, Frank.
Big Ugly. He's going up top, and he goes, oh my goodness. A man that size, how can he do that and survive?
Are you kidding me? That's because he's an athlete. He's not some chump NBA player. He's not some chump NFL player. He's a professional wrestler. He wrestles for Portland Wrestling, which means he's the best in the business, Daddy.
Absolutely, fans. You like this action next week. The Pacific Northwest title on the line, Pandora's box match. You're going to see old school Oliver John versus Scotty Mack, and you are going to see one of these men walk away tonight with the SPW champion. Dante really hobbled by that ankle that was hurt.
Dante. That's how tough Dante is. He has an ankle injury. He doesn't care. He's going to go up top. 450. 450.
That's it.
Look at that chip up.
Oh,
that's he's probably got a broken ankle. I'm telling you that right now. That's how tough that man is.
But, he rolls him up again.
Oh my goodness.
Belly to back suplex.
Good gravy. Are you kidding me? He just knocked a stew out of him.
And down comes the straps from Big Ugly. I'm not sure if that means he means business now. I don't know what's been going on if it hasn't been business so far.
If I may quote the great Jerry Lawler, as soon as those straps come down, you know what? That really means business right there.
Good roll up by Bonzai. He's hooking the trites. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no.
It can't end that way, Frank. Come on, it can't end that way.
Bonzai Bruce taking a shortcut. Look at him laughing out here at ringside. Retains his SPW championship in a brutal contest, but he did roll him up. The referee didn't see it, counted 3.
3 studs just went out there. 3 Portland Wrestling studs just went out there, laid it all on the line for these fans, and then something like that's got to happen. He's got to hold some tights to get himself over.
Terrific action here in Portland Wrestling. As we mentioned, next week, fans, the Pacific Northwest Heavyweight title on the line, Pandora's Box match, and Old School Oliver John versus Scotty Mack. Right now, just headed back to the ring. Dante laying out here. I think we're going to have to get some medical attention for him. He's still holding his ankle. He appears to be in serious trouble.
I told you, that is a man right there. That's an athlete laying right there. He probably broke his ankle, and he still went out there and gave all these great fans of Portland Wrestling exactly what they deserve. Everything he's gotten is fiber and being.
Good show of sportsmanship there with Big Ugly and Dante helping him to the back. These two gave it their all, but came up just a little bit short. I think we'll see a rematch between one or both of these competitors pulling the tights.
I would pay to see that, Frank. I would pay money to watch those 3 athletes any day of the week, anywhere.
Speaking of paying money, if I may, next TV taping, October 15th, get out to Tom Peterson Glorious 2, Rob's Off-Road Center, Highway 212 in Clackamas, or a Joy Forever Scrapbook Stores in Milwaukee and Gresham. Buy your advance tickets for $10 for adults. $5 will go to Jason Veal for the bone marrow transplant. Jason in attendance here tonight. It's great to see him up and around. We need to get behind him and support him. And Portland Wrestling's doing just that. Hope you'll help us out.
Wrestling the way it should be.
That's Bubba Blanchard. We'll be right back right after this.
Hey, wrestling fans, have you got your copy of Katie Bar the Door, The History of Portland Wrestling yet? And if not, why not? Mike Rogers has put together the ups and downs, the ins and outs of wrestling in the Pacific Northwest, along with inside stuff you probably never knew was going on behind the scenes. It's available on Amazon. And be sure to get all 3 of Mike Rogers' Excitement in the Air, the Voices of Northwest Wrestling. Interviews done from over 30 years, from Bull Ramus to Dutch Savage, to Volume 2, which follows up with Mad Dog Vachon, Rick Martel, Ed Moretti, and Ivan Koloff. And there's no slacking off in Volume 3 of Excitement in the Air. Mean Mike Miller, Haru Sasaki, Tony Ford, and The Grappler. And coming soon, it's the Encyclopedia of Portland Wrestlers from the House of Action. If they had a match at the Portland Sports Arena, Mike Rogers has it covered. Over 450 biographies of the obscure to the superstars, from the World Championships to the Northwest title matches. The Encyclopedia of Portland Wrestlers. You don't want to miss out on this one.
What a great 3-way match that was for the SPW Heavyweight Championship. I should mention that championship came up from Northern California, would eventually become the Portland Wrestling Light Heavyweight Championship, and a tournament was held for that. We're going to be showing you that in a couple of weeks. It is tremendous wrestling action. You're not going to want to miss a moment of action, so be sure to subscribe and like this channel. I want to mention that his Big Ugly's career winds down a little bit here in 2023. He has 2 kids in the business that are doing phenomenal work. Now, there are great young wrestlers out there. We've seen Darby Allin. We've seen Nick Wayne. But I want to mention his daughter Abigail, who has really progressed in the last year and a half in the ring. And then his son, Titus Alexander. I want to take a moment and show you some clips of him in the ring, because he is one of the guys that is going to become a cornerstone in pro wrestling. I've seen a lot of great young talent in professional wrestling. I have to tell you, Titus Alexander is one of those guys you need to keep your eyes on. Now it's time for the Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Championship match with the champion Vinnie Massaro of the Cartel defending against Skag Rollins. Skag, a multi-time champion of his own, has his work cut out as he faces Vinnie Massaro.
Will be taking Caden Matthews' spot in a shot for the title here tonight.
Heavyweight title!
It's true. It's for the heavyweight title. And New Jack, the bottom line is this. Caden Matthews finally got his shot at the Pacific Northwest heavyweight title. After all this year, after the whole time that everybody's been talking about what a great rookie he is, everybody's been talking about his training and his upbringing and everything like that, Caden Matthews finally gets his shot at the Pacific Northwest heavyweight title. And after having a dark match with a car problem, an automobile problem, Caden Matthews can't make it. So now, through the wonderment that is the power of the Army of Darkness, wonderment, the wonderment of the AOD, right here, I'm going for my 4th heavyweight championship. And Vinnie Massaro, I don't give a damn if you want to bring another fish into the ring. I don't care, because you and I have a lot of scores to settle, and it's going to be settled tonight, and it's going to end with me walking away 4-time Pacific Northwest champion.
Totally gonna score. Members of the AOD, you will have his back at ringside, correct?
What do you mean, correct? This is the Army of Darkness. We rule Portland wrestling. We have each other's backs. And you know what? Look at that back. You think he needs me on it? He's gonna kick him good. He's gonna take that belt. And when it's all said and done, 4-time champion, just like I predicted.
I'm going to kick him like that. Vinnie Massaro, you're looking at the next Pacific Northwest heavyweight champion, the AOD, forever, forever.
Kick him. Kick him. Kick him.
Skag Rollins, Dr. Luther, Adam Thornstowe, the AOD completely out of control here on Portland Wrestling in the 2000s. And the man that they were kicking was Gilbert Corsi, getting his start in professional wrestling. Now, Gilbert would go on to become an anchor for WDRB News in Louisville, Kentucky, and he's still involved in professional wrestling when he can. But it was a tough night for him here on Portland Wrestling. Now let's hear from Vinnie Massaro.
Here on Portland Wrestling. Tonight, it is the Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Championship on the line. It is to be Vinnie Massaro, your champion, versus Caden Matthews, a man who defeated Big Ugly for the SPW X Division title. The board of directors honoring him with a matchup. But something has happened to Caden Matthews, a no-show.
It's kind of funny you say you pull it, because that's where Caden Matthews is going to go. You know why? I don't know. Is this important in a car?
I believe that's brake cables, and
Oh, is
Caden
that what that
Matthews
is?
had a car accident.
Well, he can go to the... He had a car accident?
Yeah, you know nothing about that.
Oh, is he okay?
That breaks my heart.
No way. Is he all right?
We'll get a report on him later tonight for you.
Darn the luck. You mean I don't have a match tonight?
No.
Shoot!
I know you were looking forward
I know,
to
I
wrestling
was really
Caden
looking
Matthews.
forward to it, but, you know what that means? There's no match. There's more time for party, baby. Yeah, party,
Do it like you do with
party.
Katie. Do it like you do with Katie. Come on, Frank.
Come on, Frank. Let's
Fruity
party. There's no
Flakes.
match tonight.
Let me tell you, there will be a match tonight. The board of directors has ordered the fans here in Portland Wrestling to see a title match, and it will be you, Vinnie Massaro, defending your title against 3-time Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Champion Skag Rollins of the Army of Darkness.
Jesus Christ.
You're kidding, right?
Skag Rollins, Dr. Luther has pulled it off again.
All right, where's Ashton? Am I being punked? There's no way I'm wrestling Skags. Come on, where you at, Ashton? There's no way I'm wrestling Skags again.
3-time Pacific
Why?
Northwest
'Cause he's
Heavyweight
with
Champion.
the Army of Darkness?
Cuban Heavyweight Champion.
There's no such thing as Cuba. I don't know why you keep bringing that up. Anyway, the Army of Darkness, Skag Rollins joins it, and lo and behold, he gets a title shot. Why? Why is that?
Don't ask me.
Is he a number one contender? He's been tagging with Adam. He's a tag team wrestler now. What's up with that?
Are you not going to defend your title? You just want to hand it over now?
Are you implying that I'm not a fighting champion, Frank? Because that would be silly. Silly. Silly.
Just silly.
Silly.
Ha silly. Right?
Exactly. Don't do that, Frank. I'm a fighting champion. I'll be there.
You'll be there tonight against Skag.
And no regret. Get it? No regret. Anyway, go ahead.
We love it.
Yep.
The Cartel, Vinnie Massaro, J.D. Bishop, Big Ugly, never at a loss for words. And that's Lester the Legend, now of Reno Scum, in the background. The Cartel has been on quite a winning streak lately, but they've been doing it by nefarious means, if you can believe it. Besides the brake cable that was cut, they've been hitting opponents over the head with frozen fish that they've been taking out of a bag at the very end of their matches, knocking their opponents silly. What will happen tonight? Well, we're going to find out. I'm joined on commentary tonight by Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live, every Saturday, 10 a.m. You want to check him out for all the great wrestling action news. He brings it to you in a very, very unique style. Let's go to that match. Jim.
This match is for the Pacific Northwest Championship. Introducing first the challenger at 340 pounds from the Army of Darkness, Skag Rollins. His opponent and current Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Champion at 259 pounds from the cartel, Vinnie Massaro.
There he is, the man who is the Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Champion, Vinnie Massaro of the cartel. He's wearing a soprano jacket, Jim.
He must be like a grip or something, or best boy on the set of that. I have no idea. Maybe he ripped it off from James Gandolfini. I have no idea where he got that.
Well, as he would say, bada bing on the sleeve of his coat. Right now he has got the Pacific Northwest Tag Team Championship with him, as does Big Ugly J.D. Bishop. And there is that bag that we know what that contained the last time he stepped out here. It was that frozen fish that he hit Dr. Luther with.
Tell you what, I for one, like many fans, am surprised that the cartel has been able to stay on top of the Pacific Northwest for as long as they have. But I'll tell you what, success is the best revenge, I suppose. And the cartel are nothing if not successful here in the Pacific Northwest.
Well, Vinnie Massaro has been successful. He is called the Innovator. And listen to the fans chanting AOD. Who would have thought you would have heard him chanting for Skag Rollins? Oh, he said something happens to the coat, something happens to me. So, Jim, I'm pretty sure nothing will happen to the coat.
You better be careful with that coat and put it in Shauna's dutiful hands. But you know how many box tops he had to send away to get that coat? Come on.
I am not sure, because I know Uncle Sal has seemed to pull things together for the cartel. And now, look, he is just insulting Skag Rollins.
Disrespect for Skag Rollins. That can come back to bite him when this is all done. Because like he's mentioned, Skag Rollins has held that title several times, and he is a threat to any gold here. Well, except for the light heavyweight title. Any gold here in the Pacific Northwest.
Absolutely. Well, we know Vinnie Massaro probably thought he had the night off when Caden Matthews' mysterious auto accident happened. But Skag Rollins, a more than qualified opponent, three-time Pacific Northwest heavyweight champion, Cuban heavyweight champion. And despite what Vinnie thinks, Cuba is a tough place to be from.
I'll tell you what, Caden Matthews not taking anything away from him. When you get your first title shot, or one of your first title shots, you're going to have butterflies. But when you're a guy like Skag, who's been to the dance a number of times, there's no butterflies. You can look at his eyes and see the laser-like focus of Skag Rollins. Vinnie Massaro, or whomever, may be sorry that they had something to do, if they had something to do with Caden's auto accident.
Absolutely. I think Caden is going to be going to U-Pull-It, getting some new parts, maybe checking his brakes out there. Great sponsors here on Portland Wrestling. Skag Rollins, now the bigger man, comes in with tremendous size, 340 pounds, thereabouts, Jim. Vinnie Massaro thought he was going to outweigh Caden Matthews. Now he's on the short end, and he's taking the belt and he's leaving. He has got his tag team belt, and he is leaving. Big Ugly. We understand Big Ugly now saying he's going to help him to the back, but Skag Rollins going out after him, Jim.
I think Skag Rollins is going to have something to say about it. More importantly, have something to do about it. We're setting up for the infamous double knocker. There it is.
Down goes J.D. Bishop, staggering as Vinnie Massaro. Skag Rollins taking him to the ring.
It's a staple in pro wrestling.
Oh, and into a pie tin at ringside that a fan has brought. Skag Rollins with the support of the fans, something we thought we'd never see here on Portland Wrestling.
You know, Skag is one of those guys who I think the fans hated, but always wanted to like, because he's been so successful. And now finally things have come together, and I think the fans love it. I think Skag likes it as well. Skag is fighting with a new intensity and a new desire that I don't think we've ever seen before. And Vinnie thinks he's making a tag.
He's going for a tag, and nobody is there. It's not Uncle Sal. It's not Luster. It's not Big Ugly. It's just Vinnie Massaro in the ring with Skag Rollins.
And the fans chanting AOD, AOD, with every one of those big right hands, and now a big boot in the face of Vinnie Massaro from Skag Rollins.
Skag Rollins has got a lot of size behind him. that he can really apply the weight, but now a shoulder tackle to the ample midsection, as we say, of Skag Rollins slows him down, but Skag now fighting right back. Toe-to-toe these two are going, two behemoths in the ring. Fans, we need to take one quick timeout. Great message from our sponsors. We'll be back with more wrestling action right after this timeout. Skag Rollins, Jim, he has brought out the Von Erich Claw.
I don't think I've ever seen Skag use the Iron Claw before, but thus far it's been very effective on that big old noggin of Vinnie Massaro. And there's Big Ugly getting involved in the match.
Well, I know Skag Rollins is a fan of old school tapes and maneuvers, and maybe he was watching Baron Von Raschke. I'm not sure, but he clearly had that locked. Oh, my goodness.
Big forearm out of the back of Skag Rollins at the arms of J.D. Bishop, but I can't believe Big Ugly is getting away with this. But the Cartel, masters of manipulation, and there you see him working over Mark Watson, trying to distract him, and the damage is done now.
Now Vinnie Massaro back in control. Skag Rollins, tough competitor, but when you get hit on a 2-on-1 like that, there's not much you can do.
I don't care who you are. When the Cartel, for all of they're tough. They're definitely tough, and for all of their shenanigans, there is a reason that they're holding on to all the gold, and it's because they are two bad dudes. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely. Now Vinnie Massaro, John, with the crowd here at Cleveland National Guard Army, 33rd and Marine Drive. Come out, watch all the wrestling action. Listen to the fans chant AOD, stopping Vinnie Massaro in his tracks as he is stunned, and now Skag Rollins taking advantage and firing away.
Skag Rollins trying to get energy from the crowd. He's trying to fight back, and you got to wonder, this has got to be new for Skag. This has got to be completely new. When you feel that energy, when the crowd chants AOD, Skag, and part of his mind has got to be going, what's going on?
Absolutely. He didn't hear the chants when he was with Ladies' Choice. He didn't hear the chants when he was with the Grappler.
Oh, he heard chants. They were just something else.
You are absolutely right. Now J.D. Bishop again, choking away on Skag Rollins over the bottom rope.
This is, they might as well put J.D. Bishop in the match because this has become 2-on-1.
Well, we know Vinnie Massaro and J.D. Bishop having a few problems lately after Bishop lost the SPW X Division title, which is now the Portland Light Heavyweight title. Jim, right now we see two of the biggest men in Portland wrestling, along with, of course, Paul Isadora in the ring. We have seen terrific lightweight action tonight. No matter what your tastes are, Portland wrestling the place to be.
Absolutely. Whether you like style, whether you like substance, whether you like just big impact like that, Portland wrestling on Comcast Cable is the place to be each and every week.
Now Vinnie Massaro with the pin. With Skag's girth, it has really worked to his advantage. Vinnie Massaro not able to get a lot of pinning weight down on Skag Rollins. And I'm probably not intentional by Skag, but that is a benefit of his size. And right now, Skag Rollins outside here by ring announcer Ken Stillwell and Gilbert. And now Big Ugly once again stomping away.
Skag Rollins is just taking a beating at at the hands and feet of both members of the Cartel here. And again, Vinnie Massaro showing how smart he is, distracting Mark Watson, while Big Ugly J.D. Bishop is able to do his dirty work, able to do his bidding.
Almost a 3. Skag able to get his shoulder up as he heard the referee's hand hit 2 and start to come down for 3. You mentioned Skag hasn't heard the cheers before. Skag hasn't been on the end of some of this double teaming. He was always doing the double teaming, whether it was with Grappler or LC. They would distract the referee, take advantage of it. Now Skag, payback, as they say.
And you got to wonder at some point whether or not Skag's going to open up his bag of tricks one more time, because it is second nature to Skag. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Skag pull some of the Cartel's business on the Cartel when he gets a chance, if he gets a chance.
Fans, next week here on Portland Wrestling, more great wrestling action. Light heavyweight tournament continues. Timothy Thatcher, the self-proclaimed British Messiah, taking on Saito Hayashi. You're going to see Brian Ward versus DJ Riz, and you're going to see Dr. Luther and the Giant Paul Isadora against Rick Luxury and a partner yet to be named by Derek.
Who is Derek Drexler going to bring next into Portland wrestling? That is a very big question. We've seen his dollars bring in Laramie Lexo, a super talented athlete. Derek is definitely a weasel, but his money has got some credibility. Who is next? Maybe we'll find out next week.
There is choking away right now is Vinnie Massaro, a man who Says the family is not short of money himself here on Portland Wrestling. That Uncle Sal seems to provide for just about everything the cartel needs. And right now, Skag Rollins needs to take a timeout. No timeouts in Portland Wrestling.
But not only that, Uncle Sal expects a return on his dollar. And if Uncle Sal sees a title change here, there's going to be more than money to pay for Vinnie Massaro and Big Ugly.
Well, Big Ugly paid the price right there as Skag Rollins finally came back and pounded away. And now Vinnie Massaro, though, catching Skag in as he comes back inside the ring.
Both these guys, particularly Skag Rollins, has taken a beating. I don't know that we've seen this kind of courageous side of Skag Rollins ever before. He's digging down in places he's never had before, never even realized he had before, and he's taken it to Vinnie Massaro.
Big boot catches Massaro. Skag Rollins with the claw one more time. You know, this move has finished off a number of matches by famous wrestlers, as we mentioned, Von Raschke, the Von Erichs, but whether Skag has perfected it enough or not, I don't know yet.
Low blow there. At least it looked low to me, but Mark Watson watching it didn't think it was. Nice makeshift power bomb there as Skag Rollins calls for the crowd as he's getting that extra energy. And fans, you can come down here and cheer on your favorites and boo the guys you don't like anytime here. Portland Wrestling, it's fantastic live, as much fun as it is on TV.
Skag Rollins has him up. Oh my goodness. Dropped Vinnie Massaro, caught him right on his shoulder as he dropped him down. Big Ugly now trying to distract the referee because Skag Rollins has clearly got him pinned. That's 1, 2, 3. That's a 6. That's a 7 pin. What Luster the Legend
Oh, wait
is
a
out.
second, fans. I don't know if you can see it on your screen. There's Luster the Legend. Oh, and Skag sees it before it's too late. Luster there using that title belt.
He rolls him over. That is the pin. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. It is all over. Ring the bell. The winner and still Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Champion is Vinnie Massaro. Vinnie, now they're going for the fish one more time.
What?
But that was.
Is that the?
What? He's got the fish in there. He has got the fish in there. Skag Rollins takes a brutal blow right across the head. And now Vinnie's pulling.
He doesn't have the fish, that's the belt.
He has broke the belt over Skag Rollins' head.
He broke the heavyweight championship across the.
But in comes the AOD, Dr. Luther, Adam Thornstowe, and Paul Isadora coming to Skag Rollins' aid. But the belt has been broken. The board of directors is going to make him pay for that. I am not sure what they are talking about.
You can't take that kind of shot to the face and come back from.
The belt is broken. The Pacific Northwest Heavyweight title, he busted it over Skag Rollins.
Skag doesn't even know where he's at right now. Skag is completely gone. I wouldn't be surprised if Skag has got a concussion. Adam Thornstowe, Paul Isadora here, Dr. Luther here, but we may have to take Skag to the back and get some medical attention. You don't take a shot like that and bounce right back.
Absolutely not. They broke the Pacific Northwest Heavyweight title. It's been thrown off of bridges before, but it's never been broken over someone's head. A first in Portland Wrestling.
And I would hate to be on the end of that first. I feel bad for Skag Rollins, but
Dr. Luther and the fans cheering Skag Rollins on.
No kayfabe. They really broke the belt with that shot to Skag Rollins' head. Just snapped the metal right in half. We left it like that for a while. Went over with Uncle Sal of the cartel having to pay for it. A bunch of different storylines that we did. Great match. Vinnie Massaro, still your Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Champion. Fans, next week here on Portland Wrestling in the 2000s, we're going to bring you a very, very special treat. We're going to show you Jimmy Snuka in action. We're going to show you at Kaiser Stadium against the Grappler. And then going back a bit farther, not in Portland Wrestling, but in Pacific Coast Championship Wrestling, that myself and Mike Rogers broadcast. It's Jimmy Snuka in a rarely shown match against Playboy Buddy Rose. Yes, the Portland Wrestling legend. You don't want to miss that. Be sure to subscribe. Portland Wrestling 2000s, as we say, that's wrestling. Wrestling the way it should be.